here, but we are being slammed with some heavy rain, that's for sure.
That is the big concern this morning. No severe weather as far as hail or really gusty winds go, but heavy rain and possible flooding on some roadways. That could be a concern this morning, so you're definitely going to need to slow down with the heavy rain out there this morning. At the tops of our weather headlines is the showers and storms, primarily this morning, then becoming more scattered this afternoon. With the heavy rain, there are flooding concerns, at least in some low-lying areas and on roadways. You want to make sure you're not hydroplaning out there, so you need to slow down and drive appropriately for the driving conditions. And for midweek, getting cooler and drier, but still some pretty fair May weather as we go into the rest of the week. Here's ABC 57 first warning top of the radar, where the thunderstorms are this morning across portions of northeast Indiana. That's where the big bulk of the thunder and lightning are. You see scattered lightning strikes back here towards the west and over portions of Michiana and across extreme northwestern Indiana. What I do want to point out is that there are flash flood warnings, not in portions of Michiana, but as you head over towards portions of Porter County and into Lake County in northwest Indiana, there are flash flood warnings that continue throughout the morning until 6:30 later this morning. The rest of Michiana not under those just yet. We're going to watch this very closely. Luckily, the ground has been relatively dry, and we are soaking up at least some of this rainfall, but we are dealing at least with some heavier rainfall this morning across the South Bend metro area, South Bend all the way over to Elkhart. You see some of these darker reds in shading here. We'll ID some of these rainfall amounts and show you this is some pretty heavy rainfall that we're dealing with, up to around a ½ inch to possibly an inch of rain per hour across the South Bend metro area. This continues up into much of Berrien County, south of St. Joe, but right around the Berrien Springs area where we're seeing up to around an inch of rain per hour. South of Dowagiac near Cassopolis, still a ½ inch of rain per hour. Further south from Plymouth over towards Knox, still a very steady rain with up to a ½ inch of rain per hour. Then still light around the Rochester area with some heavy spots near Warsaw as well. There are pockets of heavy rainfall this morning. Rainfall total so far over a ½ inch reported at the South Bend Regional Airport, so we're dealing with that rain. But this morning, that is not our concern. Our concern is just the rain out there. We've seen a couple wind gusts, seen a lot of lightning strikes. Had some reports on our Facebook page of lightning strikes very close to some people's houses, a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
But much of that has really tapered off as far as the thunder. Again, you still hear a few now and then, but it's the heavy and steady rain out there that's going to cause the most concern for your morning drive over the next couple of hours. Weather headlines, showers and storms, the heaviest coming right now, right this morning. Flooding concerns, some areas under a flash flood warning. That information on your screen. Also, just areas not under the warning, we could have some hydroplaning. Make sure you're driving appropriately for driving conditions. Now, as we go later in the week, cooler and drier and looking pretty fair for midweek. ABC 57 first warning live top of the radar. Right now, we're tracking the heaviest rainfall across portions of LaPorte, southern St. Joseph County, most of Stark County, and into Marshall County. That's the area of orange. First thing first, we're going to start out again tracking some of the rainfall across portions of Michigan, up and across portions of Berrien County. Again, you see that area of orange shading here from Stevensville as you move towards Berrien Springs. That's still up to around 3/4 of an inch per hour, just up in excess of a 1/4 of an inch per hour as we move in onto the Berrien Springs area. So again, this is some of the pockets of heavier rain this morning. It's been very steady for more than an hour, and so that's the concern when you start to see at least some flooding on roadways and some of those low-lying areas that don't drain as fast. The heaviest rain right now is over portions of Stark into portions of Marshall and St. Joseph County. We're going on that closer scan again right now. From Walkerton southward, this is the heaviest pocket. This is all near Plymouth this morning across extreme northeastern and northwestern Marshall County, and see in excess of a 1/3 of an inch of rainfall per hour. This is just to the south and east of Walkerton and near North Liberty as well. Some very steady rainfall. So just a concern as you make your drive this morning, possibly along US 6 or even US 30. Watch for areas of flooding, especially on some of those backcountry roadways. Wet, some spots may see some standing water on roadways. So the concern is for hydroplaning. Not many flash flood warnings in effect for Michiana, but even if you're not under one of these warnings, there still could be some flooding on roadways. You need to slow down and drive appropriate for driving conditions. ABC 57 first warning live top of the radar. Still over 1,500 lightning strikes in just the past 20 minutes. Not much as far as Michiana is concerned. Much of the lightning now over towards the Fort Wayne area. That's where the thunderstorms are setting up. But we're still under some very steady rainfall this morning. Again, each little bit of rain continues to add up. The concern right now for flooding in Michiana is this flash flood warning across southeastern Elkhart County into southern LaGrange County and northern Noble County. This continues until 9:30 this morning. So again, this is our focus at least right now. We do have some reports of some road closures under this warning area, so that is a concern this morning. The rest of Michiana still seeing some very steady rainfall from Berrien County all the way through portions of St. Joseph County. We'll ID some of these rainfall amounts for you and again show you the north side of South Bend still over 1/10 of an inch per hour as we move up into Berrien County. Stevensville through the Berrien Springs area, that little swath of orange right there, that's a rainfall total of up over a 1/4 inch to almost 1/3 of an inch per hour. So some very, very steady rain. We've seen these rainfall rates for more than an hour, going on 2 hours now. The heaviest rain right now is in the Plymouth, Warsaw, and Knox area. Again, we'll zoom in on this box right here, Walkerton. As you head down towards Knox and the Plymouth area, that's where we're seeing at least the heaviest rainfall. This area of orange right here, all the way back towards Kingsford Heights. This is southern LaPorte County, so along US 6. Along US 30. This area between here seeing the heaviest rainfall if you live in here, especially out in some of that muckland and some of the farm fields. Again, heavy rainfall. Do not drive across flooded roadways. You don't know what's under that water and how deep that water is. So that is just a concern this morning. We'll go back out towards our wider view and what we're tracking across the area, clearing some of this information off this morning and putting things into motion. What we're going to see is at least some of this rain starting to wrap up on the backside. As you look towards Chicagoland, towards Gary, the rain is starting to clear out. So by 7, 8 o'clock this morning, we're going to notice the rain beginning to wrap up, at least for now.